He come walking in an angry, cold-facing, gangly, clipboard and pencil, measuring utensil, no light in his eyes. He's all dead inside. He won't be convinced. He won't listen to defense. He sleeps at home alone. Nobody calls him on the phone. He can't be rattled, but he's ready for battle. 'Cause he's the inspector. He's the inspector. The inspector. Oh, the inspector. Yeah. He's heading up the stairwell. I can hear his head swell. I hope he has clear vision to render his decision. No more clearance here. Need a fire damper there. Need to bring my own ladder. You just can't use a chair. What would happen if you fell and broke your leg? I wouldn't want to sue and take you down a peg. The inspector. When's he leaving? The inspector. When's he going? So I told the line, act refined and do as he says. But I just can't help and imagine drop kicking his fat old head. Summertime, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Summertime, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Summertime, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Summertime, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. So don't make my life any harder, Mr. Inspector. Please don't make my life any harder, Mr. Inspector. Don't make my life any harder, Mr. Inspector. Don't make my life any harder, Mr. Inspector. My name is Zach Ciota, and this is the HVAC Fake News. In our first story of the night, young Floridian technicians are angry with yours truly here at the HVAC Fake News because of last week's story where I said that they chose S-Man gauges due to the fact that filled piece products look much like their favorite products, Fisher-Price. In response, these technicians, many of them anyway, have written in to this show in order to express their dismay. Let's take a look at a few of their letters now. The first letter, which appears to be written in some sort of magic marker, says, "Hello, my mom says it is not nice to be mean. We like filled piece." The second page of the letter appears to be a picture of yours truly, with my name misspelled, being attacked by an airplane and a tank. The other letter appears to be from one of the technicians' mother. It says, "Dear Mr. Ciota, my son Justin is an HVAC tech in Florida. He has been crying in his room for 2 days because of your filled piece remarks. I hope in the future you can be more respectful of the youth. They, them, are sensitive and need extra support." From Justin's mom, and her name, I guess, is Wildflower. On a northern Boston worksite, 3 men came up with a plan to get one over on their HVAC company owner. One of the men would fall off of a roof in a conspicuous area where others were working nearby so they would see it, and 2 men below would secretly wait with a tarp and catch him before he hit the ground. Once they caught him, they would quickly duck out of the way and he would pretend to be injured. thus collecting some money and time off from the company. But unfortunately, since the men were part of a union, the two men that were supposed to catch him were on a mandatory break at the time the third man tried the trick. Testo has plans to release an automobile for the first time. They're slating this for 2025. The vehicle will be all electric and be both a sustainable and green solution for people who need a worksite truck. Because this truck will be made by Testo, it will be limited to a range of only 2 miles. There will be a Generation 2 truck coming out the year after with a range of 4 miles. We at the HVAC Fake News are proud to announce that Goodman has been releasing variable capacity units for over 30 years, and we didn't even know it. Upon investigation, we realized that every Goodman system is actually variable capacity. When it's installed, it runs at 100% capacity, and over the next several weeks, as all the refrigerant leaks out, the capacity slowly varies downward. The system even becomes an ice maker for a short period of time. Nordyne will start manufacturing new IQ Drive 2.0 systems starting in 2024. These systems will be capable of removing much more humidity than the original IQ Drive system. Nordyne realized that it had to step up the humidity removal upon hearing feedback from their customers. Even though Nordyne already makes units that can handle humidity issues that single-wide trailers present, they do not handle the extra latent load of a crystal meth lab. And as it turns out, 10% of all Nordynes are installed on crystal meth labs. And last but not least, remember, all of you seasoned HVAC veterans out there that have apprentices riding with you, do not forget, summertime is coming, especially you guys in the South and even Florida. When it gets above 95 degrees, remember, you have to water your apprentices many times a day or they will wilt. My name is Zach Ciota, and that was the HVAC Fake News. Hello and welcome back to the show, Zach, with the air conditioners on Saturday night. I messed that up a little bit. I was going to say air conditioners with Zach on Saturday night, but I didn't say that, did I? It didn't come out like that at all, and I'm sorry. Guys, if you're in the chat down here, or gals, you know, there's a couple of you gals out there. Guys, gals, or any they, thems that are in the chat, go ahead and say hello. Hello out there in the chat so I can say hello to you, and we can bond together like is destiny. We have in the chat now that has already identified themselves. We have KW Carver. We have Randy Rigsby, who is, I guess, affectionately known as Rambo. I think it's Rambo. We have Frylock. Frylock, don't be saying they all leak. All right, it's just a joke. All right, we know they all leak. Don't be like the guy who says it's all about the install. Okay, it's just it's a funny bit. It's all right. Heating and cooling services. Hello to you. We also have Nightbot. That's my doing. And let's see who else. We have Sheldon Ramnath, maybe Ramnath. I'm gonna go with Ramnath. Clint Glasgow, what's up? And you see KW, Clint, Frylock, my wonderful channel members. They support the channel by becoming a member. You out there can do the same thing. Bob Reddington. Hello, Bob Reddington. I've seen you before. You've won some prizes before. Yeah, but it is all about the install, isn't it? It sure is. You're absolutely right. Guys, I put up a little bit of a poll here at the beginning. I like to put up polls, you know, just like when you make fences. I like to put up polls. And let me see if I can bring it up here on the screen with me. Nope. Bloop. There it is. Okay, so there's the poll on the screen. 20 votes from you guys. Go ahead and make your voice known out there. Yeah, I thought you were Rambo, Randy. I saw the interaction out there. What's up, KW? Man, his new nickname is Rambo. This guy runs ductwork like a train coming through a town. Well, God bless you, sir. It's good that somebody runs ductwork and evidently likes it because no one else does. And thank goodness for you. Everything HVACR. What's up, Renee Cuevas? Renee in Miami. What is happening? What is happening? How many of you guys actually watch this gig on like a large television? How many actually watch it on a large television? I'm curious because this show looks good on a large television. You know, I'm not saying I look good. I'm saying this show appears nice on a large television. I like watching it on my TV. That's pretty vain, but I like to see, you know, for segments later. Okay. I bet it's getting warm in Miami. I bet it was warm in Miami 2 months ago, you know. Back to the poll here. Best overall metering device for reliability and load matching, in your opinion. We have 48% with TXV. Wait, it went down to 45% because EEV went up to 36%. We have 18% for a piston and cap tube. I was kind of thinking it was going to be EEV. I thought EEV would be the best. I thought everybody would say EEV. Why isn't everybody saying that? Isn't the EEV the best? I'm pretty sure. Clint says he's in a Walmart parking lot. I don't know if he's making a joke about my old streams I did in the Walmart parking lot or he's actually in the Walmart parking lot because I did some live streams from the Walmart parking lot, from the abandoned Walmart parking lot. That's the name of them. You can look them up. All right, I'm going to end this poll here. Looks like TXV wins. I thought EEV would win. I'm so disappointed. Renee Cuevas has the big TV. Awesome. I like it. KW says, I stream it to my living room TV. I like it. Hey, not too much humidity in Miami? Really? I thought it was humid like all day, every day in Miami. I thought that's what it was. Clint's watching on his phone. Hey, Jessica Egan's here. Now we can start. Jessica Egan's here. Welcome to the show, Jessica. When I say guys and gals, now it's appropriate because Jessica's here. I'm waiting on Susie. I should have texted her. Right, Susie, we're having a live stream. What are you doing? Where are you at? My HVAC Live says Hurricanes 2, Panthers 0 on my big screen. That's some sort of hockey, right? Hurricanes, Panthers. Is there a Panthers hockey team? I'm confused. Carolina Hurricanes, Panthers. I don't know what's going on. My HVAC Live, help us out here. Let's see. They're scared of the EEV. I don't know. Guys, I watched a video about an EEV the other day from Craig Migliodoglio over at the AC Service Tech. I think that's Craig Migliodoglio. Craig Megalodonius. Megalodon. He made a video. That's AC Service Tech. You'll see him later in this broadcast, actually. He's not going to be here in person, though. I watched a video where he detailed how the EEV works, and it's really pretty simple. It seemed pretty simple out there. It seemed like something that is, thank you, Jessica. I thought I pronounced that correctly. It seemed like something that was going to be perfect and better than a TXV. TXV just got problems, you know? TXVs always have problems, all right? With that bulb everywhere, the guy leaves the bulb hanging out in the attic. Why is the superheat low? Because the bulb's out in the attic, you know? Grab the bulb. Let's see if it's working or not. But the EEV seems pretty good. Renee, that's what, I didn't know a whole lot about it. I know it's a stepper motor, but I didn't know exactly how the whole thing operated. But he broke it down real well. If I had more planning, Clint, thank you so much, man. Raw Mesa, you just gifted a membership by Clint. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Craig is a great teacher. I think Craig is great. I like Craig. You know what? Okay, here's something. I saw Craig was on the Overtime show last night. I did not catch the show, but I saw that he was on the show. And I was thinking like, hey, wait, I tried to contact Craig. He said he was busy. What's the deal, Craig? What's the deal? I'm sure he was busy at the time, or you'd be surprised how many people don't want to come on this show. I don't know what it is. I thought it was a nice guy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the unpredictability. You know what I mean? Everything HVACR says see a lot of them on the commercial side. It's just a TXV, just electronic control by temp sensor. Still a constant superheat valve. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Even the residential guys have that now on a lot of the machines. If not just in the outdoor units, there's a lot of them on the indoor evaporator too. So, and Rheem has them like in their case coils, I believe. I had fun introducing Craig to Craig. That's really trippy right there. But it's Craig Egan is what she's talking about to Craig Migliodoglio. All right, Craig Migliodoglio. I know his name. I just like saying stuff like that. Like every time I watch CSI, I'll say whenever that one lady comes on the screen that's been on the show forever, Marge Hagenbogler. That's her name. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, God bless you. Most of you won't. Even if you watch the show, you won't know what I'm talking about. My HVAC Live, I want to know if that's hockey or not. Will you help me out here? And I think let's do a little bit of some of my periodicals I brought with me. Okay, so speaking of polls, we talked about a poll a minute ago, didn't we? Here's the poll I put up on YouTube. a little while back, maybe a day ago, as it says at the top. What's the largest tonnage system you have ever worked on or you have worked on? I was really surprised that after 411 votes, and thank you for voting, hockey, thank you. Thank you, sir. I didn't know there was Panthers. Who's the Panthers in hockey? Help me out. I don't watch hockey. Sorry. I like that they fight. I just don't watch. So the largest tonnage, I was really surprised to see that the over 100 tons group was 22%, which was greater than the up to 5 tons. Really crazy. Really crazy. I thought it was kind of strange. HVAC Life says conference finals in Raleigh tonight. Hey, HVAC guy, nice to see you, my friend. And I got your message, so thank you. I was going to probably call you tomorrow afternoon if you'll be available. And this is my way of kind of alluding that he may be on the show, but maybe not, because this show is kind of weird. And people might be like, I don't know if I want to be on that show. He's kind of strange, and I am kind of strange, and that's fine. That's okay. But I was really surprised at the poll here. If I answered the poll, I actually did answer the poll, and it is 6 to 20 tons for me. I did work on a 20-ton Linux package unit. I didn't do a whole lot of stuff like that. But when I worked on the McDonald's in my area, they had 20-ton package units for the kitchen section. So I repaired that one in the middle of the night one time because they had to have it done in the middle of the night. So I was working until like 1 a.m. It's not really that bad, actually. I've been out later than that on residential, actually. And I hated that. I hated it. But God bless you guys. There's a bunch of guys in the comments who are like, chiller tech, chiller, man, chiller. That's great. A lot of chiller stuff. Something else I saw, my buddy Quan Rawls, who lives in North Carolina as well. What's up, Rawl Mesa? What's up? Everything HVACR. I caught you on that stream with Ted with the sunglasses on. I think that was you. We're both strange, man. It's great. It's great. We embrace it. It'll be fine. My buddy Quan Rawl sent me a message on the interweb, and he sent me a picture, and this is the picture here. And I know York does this, and I'm guessing this is York. I'm pretty sure it's York, but it's a unit with the gauges built into the unit itself. Let me know if any of you guys out there have actually worked on a unit that has the gauges built into it. I would be very curious if anybody, we're all strange. That's right. If anyone who's worked on these. I've never seen it in the field. I've seen York talk about it, but I didn't know how many of them were actually out there. So he sent that to me. I thought it was kind of neat. I'm going to save the other stuff for later, I think. And everybody's gone into hockey talk now in the chat. I never watch hockey. I never could get into hockey. I always like baseball, and no one watches that anymore. It's a little bit depressing, actually. No one watches baseball. It's very sad. It's very sad. Frylock says he's seen them at the supply house. Dude said around $12K just for the condenser. No way. For one residential condenser, there ain't no way it's $12,000. I would not believe that. I would totally believe that thing is like $4,000. I've seen them sell high efficiency condensers for several $1,000s, but $12K is insane. That's crazy. Let's see here. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a little break here. After the break, we have Cortland Butler. You know how paranoid I am every time a guest is on this show that I make sure I say their name correctly? Cortland Butler. I think I did that correctly. I think that was perfect. We'll see what happens. You guys know him as HVAC Technology or Technology. It took me a while to pick up on that either. I was sitting there, I was like, HVAC Technology. Then I realized it was technology. That tells you a little bit about me right there, guys. Yeah. All right, let's take a break. After the break, Courtland's going to join me. I'm going to ditch the chat right here. We'll go back to normal screen. This is our first sponsor break. Make sure you buy everything my sponsors sell. That keeps this show. Hey, look, there's some of them right back here. Hey, look, Yellow Jacket. You're already buying it anyway. Who cares? Beckett Condensate Pump. They got a new contest that's going. You're going to see that in just a second. And they're actually going to give away a $500 Amazon gift card. So pay attention to this one. It's a nice little prize right there. So I'm going to get out of here for just a couple minutes, and we'll be back here on the flip side. Beckett is putting on a contest, an HVAC photo contest. You take job site photos with Beckett Condensate Pump, enter to win, and you might win, check it out, a $150 or $250 for second place, or a $500 for first place Amazon gift card. Just upload an HVAC job site photo with a Beckett condensate pump and enter as many times as you like with different photos. So every time you use a Beckett pump on one of your job sites, take a picture of it, enter this contest, and you might win $500, which is a pretty nice prize. There's a link in the description of this video or podcast that will allow you to enter. As you can see, it's very easy to win. Once you hit the link, you go down and upload your photo, put in your photo caption, your first and last name, email, agree to the rules, which no one reads, and enter the contest. The contest deadline is June 23rd, 2023 at 11 p.m. Central Time. NAVAC is known for their vacuum pumps. They have so many different types to fit any application that you require, including my favorites, the battery-powered, brake-free, cordless vacuum pumps, 2CFM and 4CFM. They have several different models depending on what you need. A basic vacuum pump that most technicians would use, all the way up to a specific vacuum pump, like what I call the White Well, industrial vacuum pumps, 24 CFM, 30 CFM. They also offer vacuum pump oil, valve core removal tools, and vacuum hoses. They're also available at TruTech Tools. You can use our Shop Talk discount code to save 8%. If you do any kind of forced air zoning, the EWC Controls app is a must-have. There's a bypass size calculator, an EWC product selector, and EWC products are the premium in zoning supplies. Every tech bulletin ever created is on the app. Live tech support is only 2 clicks away, and it's available for iOS and Android devices. To find out more, you can go to EWCcontrols.com or search EWC Controls on the App Store. All right, I'm back, just as I promised here a second ago. I am here. All right, guys, just a little something I put together here to introduce Courtland to the show. This is just a brief clip, a clip that I really enjoyed because it kind of captures what his channel is all about, kind of about being a technician, learning in the moment, embracing technology. So without further ado, check this out, and I will see you guys with Courtland in about a minute.
That's subcooling as well.
Yep, it's pretty high. The superheat kind of stabilized on us, though.
Hopefully I'm able to see that.
Yeah, I got to the brightness. Oh, that's as far as it goes.
Oh, that's all good.
All right, so based off these pressures and temperatures right off the back, you can tell there's issues with heat rejection. Just due to that elevated head pressure and liquid line temperature, those are the two main things you want to be looking at when diagnosing whether or not your condenser coil is improperly rejecting heat, whether it be due to the fact of a dirty condenser coil or a weak condenser fan due to a weak capacitor, or even the fan blade actually too high or low within the actual shroud. So yeah, these are just a couple things that I like to look at whenever I'm diagnosing heat rejection issues.
So a little tidbit right there, and without further ado, here is Cortland Butler. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, what's going on? Hey guys, how's it going there?
What's it like waiting for like 15 minutes and then having to be psyched up right in the moment that you're brought in?
Yeah,
Like
I've been
eating.
following along. Yes, sir.
So how's it going, man?
Can't complain, man. Yeah, first and foremost, I just want to thanks, let you know, appreciate you for inviting me on the show, man. It's definitely first time on my show. I'm pretty excited about it. So, yeah, appreciate it, man. Definitely.
Hey, man, no problem. Just wait till like the 5th show when you're like deciding whether or not to even answer my email. Like, I don't know, man. We already talked about a lot of stuff.
Stop.
So, man, obviously you got a channel out there. We just watched a clip from it, HVAC Technology.
Yes, sir.
How long? Let's start with like the broad. Here's the start that I always use. We'll just keep going with it. 2 minutes to tell us about yourself. All right, where you came from, where you are in HVAC. The floor is yours.
Okay, so yeah, a little bit about myself. I started off a little late. Well, I guess it's all relative, but as far as most of the people that I know in the field, I started off probably around 4.5, 5 years ago in HVAC. So I was probably around 33 years old when I got into it, but never thought I'd get into it. I come from more of a I don't want to say corporate background, but just you know, I had a job in audio production before that, doing audio production, on hold messaging. And then after that, I worked in the pool industry doing, I was actually kind of doing like operations and website design, the videography and photography and things like that. So never really would have thought I would have gotten into HVAC, to be honest with you. But my brother-in-law, you know, he has a small little company, and he actually let me go on a couple installs with him, and pretty much, you know, to be candid with you, I felt kind of at that point, because it was install, I really was more, it was more about the money that I fell in love with, like just the opportunity to be able to make that kind of money. Like I was getting paid pretty decent money, you know, like $400 a day on installs and things like that. So I was like, yeah, I need to go ahead and make a move on this officially. And, you know, he had a smaller company. So it's one of those things where he wasn't generating enough to have me on full time. So I went ahead and found a smaller company that when I looked on a Craigslist, I think it was a Craigslist ad, found a smaller company and applied, and he took me on, gave me a shot. Definitely appreciate it. He was a really good guy. Smaller company out here in Charlotte. He had me starting off initially. He wanted to have me starting off as just kind of like a helper for install, but I guess because I kind of dove like all out head first into it, as far as just trying to get a strong foundation, you know, as far as a knowledge base. He had me doing service within, you know, once I got my EPA, he pretty much threw me right into service, and been doing residential service ever since. Trying to think what else.
Here, I can break in to help you.
Sure.
See, this is my job. I come in there.
Oh,
and
yep.
Move smoothly.
Yes, sir.
Watch how successful I am now.
Yes, sir.
No, you start as an audio guy. Audio guys inside most of the time. I mean, they're not all inside. Sometimes they do work outside. So you go from inside, where it's nice inside, and you go outside to do HVAC installation. Even though the money was good, what about you is like, man, this is way better? I mean, because it seems like it's kind of culture shock if you've been working inside for a long time to go outside. So that part didn't bother you?
No, actually, that was actually one of the perks, to be honest with you. You know, I've always been a little bit more of a outside guy. One of the biggest turnoffs to me as far as working in the production field was just the idea of how sedentary you are. You know, like it's not very, the sex appeal kind of wears off, you know, after you spend 12, 16 hours sitting in front of a board or something like that all day in a dark room. It's not really that, that exciting or appealing, you know, mixing on tracks and stuff like that. But, you know, it's one of those things where being, trying to, this career path allowed me to be outdoors more, enjoying the fresh air. You know, the times when you're outside, to me, that's like the most beneficial. That's the part when I'm appreciating the job most, to be honest with you.
Wow. Well, maybe not like 100 degrees outside, but yeah, no, I agree with you. I like being outside.
Attics and crawl spaces, you know, that's when I start questioning my decision.
Yeah, we'll play that sewage clip in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Can't do it.
A lot of the guys, I just want to let you know, a lot of the guys that are in the chat are complimenting your Denzel Washington video, just like I
do. Oh, appreciate it. Thanks, man.
That was very funny. He's like
I love it, man.
He's like up like the top 5 actors for me. He's very good.
He does good work, man.
Absolutely. He doesn't make any bad movies. I mean, he makes average ones sometimes, but they're never bad. They're always pretty good. See, that's how easy it is for me to divert. We talk like about Denzel Washington for like half an hour. It's like, you've seen Equalizer, man. It's awesome. Well, which it is.
Yeah, the thing I like about doing those types of, I want to try to do more of those. Like I said, if it, people enjoy them enough, I like the idea that, it's definitely still work, but you got basically kind of a collaborative effort. Someone else is already putting, you're pretty much kind of piggybacking off someone else's equity, really, as far as Denzel Washington already did the performance, probably an Oscar style performance. And you pretty much just kind of chop that up and put your own little twist on it and manipulate it to be, kind of fit what you want it to be.
I liked it. I enjoyed that. I thought it was pretty
Appreciate
good
it.
because I've seen that scene before, and I like that scene. It was already a good scene, so it was funny seeing someone else because there's an appreciation. Then you watch the scene because you're making a parody of it.
Yeah.
You're still making a parody of a great scene. You must have realized that was a great scene to use.
Oh yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's pretty awesome. I had to watch something by Denzel after this. Now you're located in Gastonia, correct?
Yeah.
In the
Yes,
greater
sir.
Gastonia area, we'll say. And I
Mhm.
noticed, I was watching your videos, and I noticed that you said you were doing a job in Concord, which is like on the
Mm.
northern side of Charlotte. So how far do
Yep.
you actually go? And for people who don't know, Gastonia and Charlotte are like, I wouldn't say sister cities, but they're right next to each other. And
Yeah.
Charlotte's the big one, and Gastonia is still relatively large compared to most North Carolina
Yeah.
places. But
It's
that's
getting
a
there.
big area to go around the highway around Charlotte and get stuck in traffic. That seems like a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, pretty much most of the calls I run are going to be based out of Charlotte anyway. So Concord's probably about an hour from Gastonia from where I'm at, and I'm already usually in Charlotte anyway. If I'm on a call, so a lot of times I'm only commuting from Charlotte for the most part if I am running calls out there. But even if so, I mean, sometimes I do drive an hour from home in the morning to Concord or where else, just Waxhaw, places like that. So,
It's a big old place,
know,
man. We've driven around
yeah.
Charlotte a few times, and just going around it, it's just like every other city. It's like a rat race around it, and I can't
Mhm.
imagine having to go like all the way to like Monroe or something like that on a service call. Would you do something that far away?
No, yeah, that's a little bit out of our geographics. Usually about probably like 20, 25, 30 miles from Charlotte, around Charlotte. It's about where we're
That's
at.
fair because 20 miles in Charlotte, it's like me going 100 miles in the country.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like
Yeah,
because I drove an hour today and I
that's a
drove to
fact.
Kinston, and Kinston is a long way away on the map. And you're talking about going a short period, but like taking a while to get there.
Yeah,
But
traffic is a joke, man. It's 85 coming up 85 to
oh my
Charlotte
gosh,
every morning. Well, if you leave, I mean, it's all depending on what time you leave. You try leaving any time before 8:39. You're stuck every time, every day.
yeah,
You
there's a misery. I'm glad Google has those red lines built into the maps now that tells you where the traffic jams are at.
Yeah,
It's
I
very
mean,
helpful.
it's good to give you a pre-warning, but it's not going to do anything. It'll help you just not get stressed out in the moment. You can.
Yeah. Well, no, you got that. You get excited. You get in the car. It's like, all right, I'm going from Gastonia, and I have to drive 85 or something, and you go in through
Yeah,
Charlotte or going around Charlotte, depending on what's happening out there. Who wrecked where, and
yeah,
you see you were going to be 59 minutes, and there's a red on the lettering. It's like because you're in a traffic jam. It's like, well, that's too bad. Just go ahead and eat lunch in the car.
exactly. You know what to
But
expect, basically.
do you get into like the downtown stuff? Well, let me ask you this. All right, Charlotte's a big town, have big downtown. Do you go do work in the center of town? Do you do any larger stuff than residential? Because the stuff that I've seen is residential and some light commercial from the videos that I've
Yeah,
watched. What do you get
pretty
into?
much. That's all we do is residential, like commercial. Pretty much 90% residential. And yeah, very light commercial at that as well. And we definitely do a lot around the downtown area. Within just tight downtown area, but it's just mostly residential, light commercial. Man, I pretty much spent my whole career in residential for the most part, to be honest. So I really don't know much of anything about commercial. All that high chillers and all that type of stuff. And
Is that something
yeah,
you would want to pursue? Or are you satisfied with the residential and light commercial level?
yeah, I appreciate residential. I like the I mean, I guess I don't have a comparison to work off of because I've never done anything in commercial, but I do like the idea, the time of working alone, and the alone time you get, being able to just kind of uh, get inside of your own head and figure out things on your own. But I also like the balance of having the customer interaction as well. So from what I hear, you don't really get too much of that customer interaction in commercial. So
I
it's
think that's the plus for them. They
yeah,
don't necessarily like that sort of not that they dislike people, but I've heard a lot of commercial guys say they like having just them in the machine, and they don't necessarily have to deal with the homeowner that's burning up, that's freaking out and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. But if you like the people, I like meeting people too.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But
Yeah,
I mean that's a good thing.
I usually have very good experiences with customers. I mean, I've only had probably like small handful, maybe 3 or 4 kind of weird experiences, but other than that, it's been
any of
pretty
those that are
positive.
good enough for the show here? Any
I
like
explained
real
one of-
winners? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think I covered this on one of the videos. How there was a woman who she accused me of stealing something from her. Stealing something out of her house or whatever. I was on a service call. I think it was a bad thermostat or something like this. And from the beginning, I caught the bad vibe from her. Like, she was just following me around the house. Like, every time I would walk up the stairs, she'd like be at the bottom of the stairs asking, "Hey, do you need anything up there?" Because the attic was up on the second floor, so I need to go access the attic to make sure, check what I'm looking for, check the zone board and things like that. So then come to find out, I left the place. I swapped out the thermostat 2 days later. My supervisor calls me, like, basically let me know she accused me of stealing something, and he knew I didn't steal anything, but so he had my back off the gate. So long story short, she supposedly found the envelope or whatever that was missing. It's an envelope full of money or something like that, she was saying. At first I thought she was trying to pull a scam or something, like trying to basically lie and be reimbursed off of a lie, but I guess she must have really thought it was something missing. So it was a pretty weird one.
That's never happened to me. I've heard people saying that. There's some people are just kind of paranoid. Like anytime
Yeah.
someone's in their house, it's like there's an evil person that's going to take me, or just not steal something necessarily, but overcharge me because I don't know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, that's realistic. That part of it. I mean, a lot of time, because I mean, like I say, man, I've been on both sides of the fence. Seeing how I started in this field so late in my life. A lot of guys that I know that they started they might be like a second generation, or they like yourself, for instance. You've been in this since what, your teenage years, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So but for myself, I've dealt with just being that customer, that ignorant customer that doesn't really know anything, dealing with contractors that they might be taking advantage of you. You really can't, who's to say? But sometimes it feels that way, so that's why I do empathize a lot more with the customers a lot of times, because especially even after getting in the field, you think I'd be empathizing more with being a tech, but after going behind a lot of these companies, some of these bigger national, not national, but local companies and stuff, that they'll I don't know how they're training their guys. I'm not sure what's going on, but I mean, I've been behind calls where sometimes people want a second opinion, and they had one of these bigger companies out from around here, and he said system was perfectly fine. He called the guys out for maintenance. System was running fine before the maintenance. Then by the time the maintenance was done, 2-year-old system. You need a whole new system. Trying to sell him a system, said his compressor was shot. I get out there, he unplugged the compressor, checked everything was running perfect. So
like the little plug-in that goes onto the compressor itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Unplugged it completely. No joke.
You think this stuff was crazy, like this would never happen, like people are better than this, but yeah, you're right. I've heard stories, and a friend of mine said that one of the companies he used to work with had told their guys to pull the W wire off of the terminal board so the heat would never fire up in the wintertime for those that were using the gas furnace.
Jeez.
And he left the company because he said this is unbelievable. You can't do stuff like this. But it was something that they actually practiced. And this was a whole group of guys that were just accepting of it, except for my friend, of course. And it's hard to believe.
Yeah, I know they're training them foul for a lot of these companies. There was one I saw. I was at I was doing one of those. It was a maintenance. No, it was a Goodman recall or something like that. One of those Goodman recalls.
Hey, that's totally believable. Yeah.
Have you heard about the recall?
I've heard about Goodman. I'm sorry. I just gotta say something bad. I just kid around with Goodman. They're the same as all the other ones.
I forgot I triggered you with that one.
No, that's funny. Triggered, man. That's a word I don't hear too much. Yeah, I was triggered by that. You did trigger me.
But yeah. So basically, he had more. It was a bigger company. He had them out to doing maintenance for him, and they were like, one of the guys were out there, and he said basically they said the reason why he was having the issue he was having, it was due to the Goodman issue with whatever they had going on. But the guy tried to sell him like $5,000 worth of ductwork, and then he was like, oh, as well, because I asked him to see the ticket, just to go over it, see what it was, see what type of measurements the guy took, if he took static pressures and all these things. And he was like, well, another thing we noticed as well, because he was doing the furnace check, your inducer motor is hot. So he suggested the customer replace the inducer motor, the induced draft motor, because it was hot. Yeah.
There's a lot of hot air going through that thing. That's nuts, man. Because I don't know if I believe that some people that are new or not trained would believe some of the stuff. It's like, all right, this thing's too hot, right? This thing's too hot. We should probably replace this just to be safe, because they're paranoid, and that's incompetence, I guess. But I think more than often than not, if someone says the inducer motor is too hot, knowing what it does for a living,
exactly,
that's kind of nuts. And there is guys in the chat here that are saying that Renee Cuevas says it's so normal in Miami to disconnect the W wire. I don't know if that means that because it's Miami and the heat's never going to come on anyway, or that it's some sort of negative thing. And they're talking about body cams and like cameras that techs wear so people see what they're doing. Now, I knew a guy like several years ago that used Google Glass, little glasses where it would record and broadcast or whatever you were doing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because personally, I don't like that.
Heck
I wouldn't
no,
want to
I'm not a
wear
fan
that.
of that.
It's like Big Brother's watching you. I've never
No
been a
joke.
kind of guy. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Some Orwellian type stuff. Yeah, it's not. It's unnecessary.
Orwellian. I like that. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, very unnecessary.
Yeah, and it removes any trust.
Yeah,
immediately from what like your company's saying right off the bat. We don't trust you.
Exactly.
We're going to get you to do this, but we do not trust you. Of course, you're not going to want to work for that, and you're going to be put in a negative state right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wild. That is wild. See, we have some chatters here. Let's see. Miami is a different world. Yeah. I mean, I hear it's pretty nice. People go down there on purpose. Jeff's HVAC Adventures is here. I'll just take one moment to say, Jeff, this show is going to come get you too. And where you see Courtland sitting, you will be sitting one day. I just want to put that out there, Jeff. Go get a microphone.
Nice.
Get a nice microphone. All right. You don't have to get the one he's got. It sounds really nice, but we get the one that's like the $20 one. Have you ever had like a conflict with a customer where the company actually was conflicted on if you did something right or wrong? Because that one looks like the company was standing behind you. It's like, obviously you didn't steal some money envelope, but there has been something where you were brought back and said, what happened here?
No, honestly, I've not experienced anything like that.
That's a
no,
good thing, man.
because like I say, I mean, the only other one that I can remember off the top of my head was just a guy who didn't like the price of a thermostat, just the price we quoted him. And it was one of those situations where it might have been to a degree my fault. Maybe I didn't tell him initially what the price was, but he was crazy anyway. Like, I think just by the way he reacted, because he was like, I told him the price, and he's like, oh, I can go get one of those from Best Buy or whatever. And then he's like, get out of my house, get out. Like, he didn't even give me time to pull the thermostat off the wall or anything like this. So I almost feel like he was just like, I don't know, man. Then when I tried to knock on the door and let him know, hey, I need to grab that thermostat off the wall, he's like, I'm going to call the cops. So I just bailed out of there.
Now, where was that? Was that deep in the heart of Charlotte, somewhere bad or something? I don't know. That's wild. That's crazy. Do you have to go in? Do you have to go into bad neighborhoods? Charlotte's got some bad neighborhoods. I know because I've accidentally driven through them. Do you have to service those areas too? Do you do anything differently?
To be honest, I don't do anything much different. As I always try to lock my doors and stuff, but no, I just kind of take it as it goes, man. There was one
you're not going in there like this, looking around and stuff.
I was at an apartment complex. Matter of fact, that was just yesterday, I believe. I tried to capture some video of it because it was funny to me. It was like 1:00, and they were like, this place, the place is shot if they got 100 units down, right? And it's like I think it had 700 unit apartment. They let it pile up to 100 units, man. So I gets there to the reception front desk, and they were like, they were all cool and everything, but out of the blue, some woman comes up she jumps up the couch, and she's like, she starts going off on one of the receptionists, and then she's like, I need to talk to a manager. So then she starts like, the maintenance guy comes out, and he's like, what's going on? She's like, this is unacceptable, man. The other, it's not, it's not funny. But she's like, the other day, I woke up and I saw a roach in my baby's ear.
That's not good. No, you don't want that. Yeah, that's for sure. It is kind of funny, just the fact that happens in life. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so she was like, I felt bad. She had the baby there. Couldn't have been any more than 6 months old. So it was just like, damn.
That's rough. That is
yeah,
rough.
It was rough. It was tough.
The weird. I've gone to some places. The big city near me is Wilmington. It's not nearly as big as Charlotte. I think Charlotte's probably 10 times larger than Wilmington. But there's still neighborhoods in Wilmington where you have to kind of be vigilant, especially with your tools. And you go and service those places. I had an apartment building to do right in the heart of one of those areas. And I tell you what, and all of it was like government housing. The whole apartment was government housing. I don't even know how I got the job, actually. I don't know how I was there. But that was like the nicest group of people I've ever met in my whole life. I had no issues there at all. And going down there is in the middle of this rough neighborhood. I was like, man, this is going to be, it's a lot of units. So I need this work. But it turned out, I'm going down there no matter what, because we've worked a lot of rough places anyway. We've done installs, and I remember guys stealing stuff. While we were working, we look out the window, somebody runs down the street with the stuff, and then somebody comes back later with like stuff to sell from a different job site. It's like, we know that's not, that's hot right there. We know that.
Did you buy anything?
No, we didn't buy it. It was drop cords. It's like, there's somebody out there just like me looking for their drop cord. We had our tools stolen though. We had a whole bunch of, no, it's funny. It would be funny. You go in there. Hey, if I bought something, I would never even have told this story. I would have left this story out and be like, you ever buy anything? Nope. Don't know what you're talking about. I bought a bunch of Nest thermostats off a guy. No. Oh, man. It's a trip that it makes for good stories. And it only happened like we had our tools stolen once. It was a lot of tools though. It was impressive, actually. We just walked up to like the third floor of a commercial building and came back, and it was all gone. Like whoever did it was like a ninja.
They were watching. They were waiting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were like in the bushes over there. It's like they earned it with their powers. It was impressive.
That is pretty much one of my fears too, man. Like that sinking feeling you get when you know you've been got.
Yeah, see, that'd be rougher if you're in a position like, okay, let's say if you start your own company and you have like one or two guys, and that happens, that can be pretty rough. That's a lot of your livelihood that's in jeopardy right there. Because you had talked about starting a company. See how I work the segues here?
Oh yeah. Nice.
So what is your current status in that thought process and the actual physical process of starting a company?
I mean, it's currently it's kind of still in limbo. I mean, I've definitely established it and everything, but I've kind of been a little bit disenchanted by it, to be honest, just by a lot of the back end stuff that goes on. Like I told you before, it takes a lot more than just, being a good tech in order to run a company properly and effectively. So it's one of those things where, we're playing it by ear. I've got a pretty good system. The guy that I'm working with now, as far as working with him, it's really pretty sweet setup. But as, like I said, I'm not sure the direction, what direction I'm gonna go with my company, but it's just, I don't know how to say it. Like I said, it's just a lot more to it than I would have thought initially. So, and like, yourself, it's one of those things where it just kind of sucks the life out of you as far as the drive when you're having to deal with a lot of that weird, like red tape stuff and just government type stuff. It's,
some people are better than others personally. At that, is what I've found. Some people can, like, for me, just going back to stuff that I had to do, I didn't do a whole lot of installation. I like service here. You don't need permits to do any service calls or anything like that. You just need EPA card to handle refrigerant. So, I mean, doing service was easy. But when I got a job, I had to go get a permit from the permit office. I hated it I hated the whole time. I'd be like, I hate the government, the whole way there and everything like that. It's like, I don't think we should have to do this. I cared very deeply in that moment about hating the government. And well, they kind of earn it with the privilege licenses and stuff. Like we get into stuff where they charge you to work in the town. Like you go to, let's say it would be something like if you went to Monroe and you had to have a privilege license to work in Monroe to do a job there. They charge you $100. There's beach towns here that charge you like $80 or $100, and that's for one job. And
really,
oh yeah, and
doesn't matter what the job like the. I mean, it doesn't matter what do you mean for like an install?
It's install
Okay.
change out sort of job. So if you're coming to do a change out, like I did some in Oak Island, which is right at the bottom tip of Brunswick County, right out here at the coast, and you had to go into town to get your permit, and the whole way I'm like, I hate the government. So I pull in there, and it's like, well, the permit is X amount, and then you also need a privilege license, which to me is the dumbest thing. It's just like we made up something else that we could sell to you to extract money from your company. And that's all it is, because it doesn't mean anything. All the information's on the permit, so they're not getting anything else besides money from you. And it's stuff like that I hated. I hated dealing with that. I would rather just do service forever. Yeah.
It just seems like something that you'll never be able to fully, it's something you'll never, all the different tentacles of a business, to me, it just seems like something you'll never be able to fully manage as one human being. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or at least be efficient or be, I guess, I don't know, man. Maybe you could. I mean, I guess there are people doing it, but you still have to hire stuff out. You still have to. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know. It just, I think
there's
we'll
certain
see
things.
how it works out.
Yeah, there's certain aspects of it. Yeah, clarify in the chat, the privilege license is for the year. It's not for one job. I think I missed it. It's for the year. So if you're someone like me, I was going down there to do that one job, and that's all I was doing that year. So for me, it was for the one job, but it would cover the year. I interviewed Zach Desjardins from Quality HVACR a few times, and he's a business owner. And he kind of struggled with this too, but found you have to kind of sub out certain things. And one of them is accounting, which I always did my own stuff as far as accounting.
Oh,
and that's
really?
probably one of the reasons. Yeah, it was not done well. So whatever respect and admiration you were building up to right there, allowed to dissipate because I did it poorly. Now, there's people out there that are so good at this stuff that's like, I have these expenses. I don't crisscross from my LLC to my personal funds ever. I keep them separated like they're supposed to be. I have all the receipts and stuff like that. I was horrible at that.
Yeah,
I was
hard.
better with
It's
service call information than that.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I
can
struggle
imagine.
too. I mean, it's a whole different, mindset, trying to juggle those, kind of take off your tech hat and your, just, I don't know, man. It's hard to juggle. It's definitely one of those things you got to give people props for being able to manage and operate business just as one entity.
Absolutely.
Guys.
I don't know of anyone who could do that perfectly. And I think that's why they all end up being small forever, because they can't grow, because they can't function well enough to do that.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I can understand that. Does that mean that it's not going to happen for you in the near future, or that you just have to rethink how you would do it?
Just having to, just trying to feel it out, man. Like trying to play it by ear, honestly. It's one of those things. I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to establish it, but it's just, you can definitely see the writing on the wall a little bit, that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, it's a learning experience. We're all going through, we all have to kind of try different things out, but you never know. You know what I mean? I'll definitely keep everyone posted. You know what I mean? Try to see where I go with it, but.
Well, I think guys got a special fire for that sort of thing. I mean, it's like, I want to be an owner, and not to say that just being a tech forever, that's not negative. That's not a bad thing. I mean, you're just providing for yourself and family. That's all you have to do, technically. There's nothing wrong. Do you see not becoming a business owner in any negative light, like staying a tech forever, or is it just something you want to pursue, maybe being a business owner? You know what I mean? Just is it a natural progression to own a business, or do you not have to be successful?
Definitely don't have to be successful. I mean, success, as far as I'm concerned, is just I mean, it's like when your passion coincides with, what you want to do coincides with what you have to do, right? Like
Yeah.
you're making a living doing what you love to do. And I guess there's always going to be hurdles, ups and downs and things like that, and things that might frustrate you, but if you can get a little glimpse of that here and there, you can kind of consider that success. A lot of times, I mean, I've been in jobs where I was miserable, the whole time. And I love doing service. I love, the just the different aspects of it. So now, as far as the things that the aspects of operating a business, I haven't come to like any of that, so far, as far as like the back end stuff. So that's why I don't feel like it's necessarily a step up, or
Right.
a failure to not go in that direction if it doesn't work out that way. Because if it makes you miserable, it's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I 100% agree with you. I mean, I own the podcast business, but it's a totally different animal, than having to go do service, because going out in the field is so like diametrically opposed to doing office work for your company. It's so different. It's almost like there's two personalities to it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like,
No
it's hard
joke.
to go from one to the other. It's easy. I like being a tech because I can talk tech to other techs because I know what they're feeling and I know what they've
Yeah.
been through. But owners, I don't have that feeling with. I don't feel like I connect with them in any way. Even though I did it for 10 years, I still don't feel like one.
Huh.
And that doesn't bother me at all. I gravitate toward people who fix things. I respect people who fix things. That's
Yeah.
what I like.
I see what
So
you're saying.
I've always been that kind of guy. It sounds like you told me that too. You like fixing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Always, I've always been kind of just a guy I like to tinker on stuff, even as a child, just, kind of working on dirt bikes, riding dirt bikes, go-karts, things like that. So kind of take for granted that foundation that's built, when you're, I guess, just more physical in the world, it's, what was I thinking? What was the thought I was going on?
We're just gonna wait till that thought comes to you.
Sure. Oh yeah.
I can get my guitar if it takes it.
But yeah, like I think that's pretty much one of the main reasons why I kind of gravitated to this field. Especially like I think I got into it at the perfect time because I don't know, maybe like 5-10 years before I got into it, I don't think all this digital stuff really, I mean, it existed, but it might not have been something that was field grade. You know what I mean?
No, I think you're right. I think when you talk about the 10-year mark, there were people that were pioneers of that stuff. I know.
Yeah,
but
Testo and all of that.
Oh yeah, Testo was out with 20 years ago making the Testo. I forget what number they were. Of course, the 550s are so big. They've been so big for so long. I didn't get any until 2012. I remember that because I got S-Mans, like the very first or second S-Man models.
Okay.
And, I like digital after that. There was a long time where people would analog digital back and forth. What do you really need? All that stuff.
Yeah.
Now I think it's, go get some probes. They're pretty cheap. Probes are the best. I liked probes. I still contend that the iManifold or iConnect is the best thing ever made. If money's not an option, money doesn't matter. If money does matter.
Really? You say that's better than the field piece stuff?
I think the iConnect is the best set of probes available. But since it costs so much, it's kind of hard to argue that.
What is it about it that justifies the price? I've never even honestly looked into those. What is it about
the
them?
range of them and just the quality of the pieces? I think are the top. I really do think they're the top. And I started with those, so I'm a little bit jaded in the fact that I had those first.
Yeah.
The field piece probes, when they come along, and I got a set of them and kind of used them for a little while, I was like, these are going to destroy iManifold and iConnect because they're so much cheaper and they're almost just as good anyway. So why would you spend 3 times as much? So I think field piece is probably everybody's favorite if I had to guess right now.
Yeah, field pieces they're on the top. They're definitely on the game, man, as far as innovation, in that field of digital probes and even their meters and stuff, man. Like,
oh yeah,
I love field piece stuff, man.
Did we talk about like the I think we talked about meters. I said the SC57 from Field Piece is I think the best one ever. I love that thing. and you use the redfish. And when I saw you using the redfish, I said, "This is a guy who likes Bergman."
Yeah.
I know it.
Oh
I can
yeah.
tell already. So, but you like the redfish. It's got a lot of features. Like it has power factor that
Yeah.
Philippines SC57 doesn't have. So
Nope.
is that what you like about it? You like having the maximum amount of readings available?
Oh yeah, and like I said, I mean, I think I did a couple of weeks back. I've done a video showing how to with the redfish meter, in conjunction with that subco TechLink app, you can actually read capacitors while the capacitor is still in the circuit, so you can check your microfarads without having to actually do a bench test on the capacitor. So if you, like I said, if you're too close to the coil, the inductive load of that the contactor coil, it might kind of be a little glitchy as far as accuracy. But if you do that in conjunction with your power factor reading, so what I do is I do the check the capacitance in load, if that's within range, and then I check the power factor afterward. If they're both in range, like that power factor is above 0.95 and my capacitor is showing within range, checking under load, I know for 100% that capacitor is good. So most of the times I'm not going to bench test a capacitor unless I'm actually taking out to replace and verifying that it actually is bad. So I like it because it's efficient in that sense. Like you got to let the system run for a minimum of 10-15 minutes anyway to stabilize when doing PMs. So it's one less thing you have to turn the system off for.
Yeah, that was a big thing back when I first started getting into, because I talked to Jim periodically. He's been on the show before too, a few years ago, or 2 or 3 times, I think. And we were talking about stabilization because they didn't have a provision in MeasureQuick at the time, or the iConnect app, I can't remember. I think it was MeasureQuick, where they would allow a certain time for the system to stabilize. So that's pinnacle. People don't usually talk about that a whole lot. But especially for like these piston systems where you start them up, it's like it's low in refrigerant. It's like just wait a minute,
Absolutely.
And it
can't rush
comes
it.
up. It looks like it's almost flat. It's like the R22 unit, for example. It's like it's got a 35-pound suction. There's no way this thing is fine. If it's like 10 minutes later, it's at 225 and 75, and it's like it looks fine now. It's so patient in waiting for that stuff. And that's true. That's an important virtue right there. Do you possess that virtue?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things I learned first, man. Like I said, in the last company I was at, I mean, I guess they basically, even the company I'm at now, like they really do value just quality techs, people, actual being a technician, not trying to, I guess, get to the next call and sell this, sell that. So, when you have that atmosphere where you're not basically having people calling you, telling you get to the next call and having your schedule being chalked up, it does give you a little bit more, what do you call it? Just less pressure, more freedom to feel like you can actually feel the system out and learn how the system's actually operating. So yeah, I definitely learned that pretty soon in the game. Probably overcharged a couple of systems and had to learn it the hard way. But
we all did.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the one that was frozen. I like this. I had my brother-in-law would do like property management, and he would do some troubleshooting before he called me out there for anything. And I remember he was just charging this unit and charge it. And my brother, who's a tech as well, had the same issue with a different person. And you go out there and it's like, this unit's frozen. I mean, because you see like a line of condensation where the evaporator lines up with the panel. So it's like, this thing's most likely frozen. You take it off, it's frozen. And this unit, and I know my brother, he told the story where he went to a unit and 9 pounds would have been the charge. And there was 22 pounds of refrigerant in there. It's like, how'd you even fit all that refrigerant in there? Did you get a recovery machine to pump it into the system? I mean, how did you do that? It's amazing. But, live and learn, though. I mean, everybody makes screwed up mistakes.
That's still, I'm very surprised at how often I come across that to this day, man, as far as guys that don't even own a scale or, or any kind of thermocouples or line temperature clamps, nowhere to be seen or found. Just throw your throw your manifolds on there and charge it till it reaches 40
70
degrees
or so.
saturation.
Yeah. Well, see, that's no. You can't even say saturation because if you're doing that,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a pressure.
sorry.
You're going to pressure. Yeah,
See, I screwed it up.
Saturation is on level 2. You know.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
it's like, I want my evaporator to be 40 degrees. It's like what? It's like 70 psi. Okay, or 120, whichever refrigerant we're talking about at the time.
Yeah, that's a fact. You're right about that.
Well, I was the same way, man. I can remember like being sent to startups the first time I started going from install to service and just charging it by the pressure, just putting it in there to the pressure look right. I mean, I was completely ignorant. I mean, I thought I was just doing a great job.
Yeah. And what year was this?
Oh, this was
You said when you first started?
This was I did install for a long time because I started working summers when I was 14. And then I actually went to college, and then college disagreed with me, so I stopped going to college, and I went into the trades as every good non-college person does.
Nice.
And after about 10 years, I started, doing a few startups and things like that, doing more stuff like that. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd pull a vacuum. I didn't have a micron gauge or anything like that. I didn't even know a micron gauge existed when I started them. I didn't know it at all. I was completely ignorant. I would pump up the R22 systems to 70 PSI because I knew that was about right. And they would work. Yeah. And I'd go in there and cold air was shooting out. Not that I set the airflow. Sometimes.
Get the handometer out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You'll like this. I measured temperature one time. I remember this. I can remember this stupid action that I'm about to tell you about.
Sure.
It was a zone system. I was measuring the temperature of the supplies. And I was like, I am so proud of myself. It is 40-some degrees coming out of this supply. And, I'm high-fiving myself. I was like, I don't know about this, man. That's a little chilly. That's a little bit big of a spread. I didn't know. But
I guess it would depend on what your return temp was, but yeah.
It wasn't appropriate for 41 degrees.
It wasn't 60, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't 60. It wasn't 59 degrees or whatever, It was most likely in the 70s, and I was, probably not quite to the 70s. That would have been some sort of miracle split. But yeah.
So you said it was just So you said you just had an airflow issue, or what? What was the resolve to that?
Airflow was never set up. I mean, there was no resolve to it because I didn't know what the difference was. I didn't think there was anything to resolve. So the system went out like that. So I don't know what condition it's in now. It's been so long. I'm sure it's been changed out at least once. We're talking,
that, yeah,
yeah, because I wouldn't have known
unresolved stuff.
Because I wouldn't know it had to be resolved because I thought I was doing everything right.
But it's just haunting you now. Once you found out, it was like, oh, I remember that.
I had flashbacks. I reflected on my good work, and I was thinking about, hey, a second, let me fact check this. How many microns was that? Well, it wasn't any microns because I didn't check it. Oh, there's worse stuff than that. I just don't want people to lose all respect for me. I won't go any farther.
But that's the beauty of this industry, though, man. Like those aha moments, man, where you actually have you could recall on an experience you might have had where you screwed the pooch and you're like, you know what, now I know. Next time I'll do better.
Use that. Scoot the pooch. That's much better than the versions I've heard in the past.
Screwed the pooch, man.
Screw the pooch is even better. So do you remember stuff you did when you first started in order to kind of even this up? Something that you might have done that could make me feel better about my own life?
Well, like I said, I definitely trying to think.
You should just say no. I don't remember anything that bad.
Well, that's the thing. Like I told you, I guess how we started this conversation, because I basically started on digital probes. I started with with the whole Testo set, the whole Testo, I guess it would be their job link set. So I've never had a situation where I wasn't measuring superheat and all these other things. So
wow,
it's not that I've always been. I mean, I've definitely made a lot of fair mistakes, but I don't have those. I mean, it was just I started in a good time where it's like everything, all the information. Jim Bergman, I mean, he was popping and he was active. So there's so much information out here now. It's kind of hard to unless you just want to go out there literally. I mean, just not wanting to know. There's just so much information.
That's true. It's high speed internet era. I forget like the time I'm referring to. I didn't even have high speed internet at the time when I'm talking about. It was before. I wouldn't have had it for another 2 or 3 years. which
Yeah.
is just kind of blows my mind now. It would have been
And I'm
dial-up.
sure there weren't that many guys out on YouTube either, as far as.
I didn't even watch YouTube at that time. There was nothing. YouTube probably had just started at that time, actually.
Yeah.
Mid 2000s. And yeah, it was a long way to go. But once I did, we got high speed internet. I remember this. And I started watching YouTube. I started watching this guy named Dr. Zarkloff. I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. What are all these things he's using that I've never heard of?
Yeah.
And then I made a video or two, and people said, why aren't you doing this right? And at first you're defensive. It's like, what's your problem? Then you realize they're actually right. If you listen to them, they're actually right. Their delivery could use work sometimes, but they're right.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You know that you're on YouTube now. You know guys that are super sweet about how they deliver information.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Do you have any of those guys that like correcting stuff or like, hey, man, that's wrong?
Yeah,
that's
matter of fact, a couple of them, because I'm not going to lie about it, man. Initially, probably this has been about 2 years now. I just started getting a couple, just more spiteful type of feedback, man. I guess that's how you know the channel's getting a little bit success or something.
Yeah.
It's been really good for the first 2 years. Everyone's still, majority, 99.9% of everyone's still very supportive, but now you get like these 2 or 3 comments every couple of days where someone's got something unnecessarily just aggressively negative to say. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, man. I'll just,
yeah,
just kind of reply with love. People just, I don't know.
Is that your method? Do you do the thanks for watching and that's it?
Yeah, exactly.
Keep watching,
appreciate
man.
it. Yeah, it's just the feedback's positive. There's no such thing as bad. I guess. What do they say? The whole idea of no such thing as bad press. So as long as you're interacting, it's it's not gonna. It doesn't hurt my feelings. So.
Yeah, you're right about that. Sometimes I like to have fun with people. They say something bad, and it's like, I'm gonna tell your mom when I get home tonight. That's what I put on there, and then what's funny is people get angry about that. And, it's kind of funny. It happens. Yeah. Well, sorry. Hey, my address is all over the internet too. It's really a good move on my
That's
part.
why you don't want to be doing that.
I just want everybody to know that I own guns. There's one right over there. Just in case you got an idea there. Well, we're running to the point where I know I got to get to the skilled trade up if we're going to play it. Let me ask these people first of all. Hey, chat people, are any of you going to play the skilled trade up? Jessica Egan, that's right. Jessica Egan, I just want to put this out there, everybody. And just a slight detour for a second. Jessica Egan can't come on the show on Saturday night because she plays Dungeons and Dragons. I want to say that is a legit thing right there, which I don't have a problem with it. She do whatever she wants to do. We love you, Jessica. We want you to come back, and we're going to work on that to make sure you can come back. But I just want to put that out there just so it put some pressure on her. There's probably a bunch of people that could come out and say, I play too, man. That's awesome. That's what they're going to do. Yeah, bro. Let's go to my house. We'll play Final Fantasy VII together. It'll be great. It's the greatest game ever made. Well, I like that.
I was trying to take a look at this chat, man.
Yeah. Well, let me put it. Actually, I can help you out with that while we're waiting for any answers. Let me see if I can put them up on the screen too. We should be able to watch. There we go. So got the chat there. Let's see. Frylock says he's gonna play Icons out of here only every other Saturday. I didn't know that, Jessica. All right. Well, let me know. Text me and let me know when the next Saturday is. Let's see here. Frylock might play. So let me ask you: you want to stick around for a little bit, or are you gonna head on? Because we play skill trade up for about 15 minutes.
Sure. I mean, I can stick around. Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of pressure now. What are you gonna say? No, you want to leave the show now? What, you don't like the show? The last thing I want to play the thing with the sewage. I just think it's funny. Your video clip, and I totally agree with you on this. And this is your thoughts on sewage. We'll come back for just a minute before we take a break. Here we go.
Cool. I've been under a few houses that have had, it's probably not that uncommon. I've been under a few houses that have had sewage issues. I don't like to go under any of them, to be honest with you. So, but I have worked under a house that has had some sewage under it. So that's one of those things that I'm really funny about sewage.
You know what? And I was thinking to myself, I also
you need help, man.
don't like sewage. Hey, you're the one who made that long pause right there too.
You'd be surprised, man. Some guys aren't going to be phased by that stuff. They'll get in a crawl suit and go to work, man.
These sick jokers that would go down there, they have problems. If I smell sewage, and I told you, like I went into a job one time and there was sewage, I'm like, let's see ya. You know, I'm not going through that stuff. I didn't even step near it, and I washed like all my clothes immediately when I got home. It's disgusting. Oh man, like an oil furnace. Run away. Yeah, I thought it was funny though. I just got a kick out of that. Like, there's people out there that like sewage. That's what I was thinking. All right, guys. What's going to happen here is we're going to take a short break. I got 2 more sponsors. Help me pay my electricity bill. Buy something from a sponsor or whatever, you know. And we'll come back. And there's a little bit right here in between, just something a little funny where I involve some of our other great HVAC channels in a little video. But Courtland, you stick around. We'll be back here in about 4 minutes or so. All right,
yes,
guys.
sir.
Let me see if I hit the right button. Let me do it. The Yellow Jacket 67073 YJack Charging and Air Kit has everything you need to analyze an HVAC system. They are A2L compatible. The kit comes with 2 psychrometer probes, 2 pressure probes, and 2 pipe clamp probes. All the readings are viewable through the YJack View app through a Bluetooth connection from these probes to your device. Find out more at yellowjacket.com. Field Pulse is the #1 FSM platform for its ease of use, ease of setup, and quality of support. And what's more, they have a brand new promotion. Anybody who signs up by April 30th gets 3 months for free. Make sure when you take advantage of this particular program, you go to our link and use it. So go to the description and use it. That way the Field Pulse guys know it came from this channel. And anytime you guys want to check out any of the sponsors, you can go to the description of this video to find out more. Podcast guys, same thing. Go to the description, find out more, support this channel by supporting our sponsors. Hello, everybody. I've gathered some of the finest minds in HVAC to ask a variety of questions here to better ensure that you guys are getting the tip-top education that you possibly can get when you tune into YouTube. So often YouTube is associated with wishy-washy, gray area information, but we're going to give you some real black and white information that you can take to the bank. First question. What components, if any, would you remove from current HVAC systems to make them better?
The compressor, the condenser, the metering device, and the evaporator. And I'm just going to give it to you right off the bat.
Good stuff. Now, what is the cause of every single failure that an HVAC system can have?
The thermostatic expansion valve, or TXV, as well as the capillary tube, which you would see in smaller appliances like window units, packaged terminal air conditioners, maybe your refrigerator at your house.
Now, instead of a TXV, what do you think every single system should have?
There's another type of metering device called the piston device. And a piston is commonly used in older air conditioning systems or low-efficiency systems that have been installed for many years. It's essentially just a piece of brass with a hole in it.
Now, let me drop back and talk to Craig for a second, AC Service Tech. Now, what are your insights on these issues as far as what causes the most problems in HVAC systems?
I'm proud to announce that we have our Inverter Mini Split Operation and Service Procedures book done. And so this book is there to help demystify.
Okay, Craig, let's wait on your book for a minute. Do you mind answering the question first instead of just going straight to your new book?
We'll see you next time at AC Service Tech channel.
Okay, well, I guess he just doesn't want to answer any questions, so buy the book, everybody. Okay, well, let's change the subject for a minute. Let's go over to Mikey. Mikey, what do you think of the state of the trade? What do you think about technicians nowadays and their work ethic?
I gotta tell you, people are hats. People are f***ing hats. Let me tell you why people.
We'll come back to him. All right, let's go check in with our buddy Dave to see what he's up to this evening. Dave, what do you have going on over there?
Yeah, I'm just having a beer, man, and transitioning over to this Detect Stratus leak detector, man. Like all the cool YouTube super techs are using it, man.
Absolutely, it's true. If you don't use certain tools on YouTube or in life in general, you're pretty much not a real technician. I agree. I'd also like to add that the shorts that you're wearing are the single greatest thing that's ever happened on YouTube. Okay, let's go talk to Adrian for a minute. Now, Adrian, I've been told that you are a real ladies' man. There have been some allegations that you're actually a gigolo, like Deuce Bigelow.
I would always get a yes to do the work, whatever it was. They were like, we need it, do it. I'd write out the invoice. Honestly, they wouldn't even read it. They would just sign it, and we get paid.
On a serious note, I want to tell you guys that all the channels that were featured here, we had a little bit of fun with them, but they're great resources for anybody wanting to learn HVAC or just relax and watch the exact same thing they did that day, again that evening. Channels like HVAC School, AC Service Tech, Mikey Pipes, Reliable HVACR in NorCal. Just a few great resources that we poke a little bit of fun at here tonight, but they're great channels. Alrighty, then we're back. All right. Well, who do we have here? Oh, it's Frylock.
What's up, man?
Good reflexes, dude.
Thanks. I had to mute the other channel.
I saw how quickly you were moving like a cat.
Trying to get my 8-year-old to be quiet, but he's playing Fortnite, so
he's trying to get that dub.
Some screaming in the background.
Yeah, I can already hear him. It's fine. Hey, if you can concentrate, then I'm good. Okay, if you're good, I'm good, man. It's all good. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna streamline this. It's getting late.
That's how I like
there
it
may be
anyway.
other urgencies. I'm not gonna mention them, but we'll go. All right, then I'm going to turn off the live chat for a minute, and we'll see. Here we go. It's gonna be great, man. You're gonna do so well. This is awesome.
It's been months.
It has been
time,
months,
hasn't it?
We need a winner,
A year?
though. Has it been a year?
At least.
It
Since
might
I
be.
played, I think so.
It's time to win something. All right. Well, let's start with something easy. You're going for the 6-inch magnetic parts holder, my friend. Are you excited?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I need one of those.
Yeah.
The other one, the magnets fell off the tray.
Oh, man. That does happen after a while. So,
yeah.
All right. We're going to get after it. Just, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this done.
I'm going to get after it real good.
All right. Let's cue up the music. Here's your first question. You have 3 lifelines to choose from. Actually, 2. We have 2 lifelines. We have 50-50, 50-50, and chat. All right?
Okay.
All right. Here we are. Which of the following companies makes the JobLink refrigeration pros? Testo. Okay. You are absolutely right, maybe. Are you? The sound has to tell you. Oh, yeah! I guess you are. You were right. That's absolutely correct. You got yourself a magnetic parts holder.
Yeah, I just started using JobLink again because I didn't realize Measure Quick you couldn't do screenshots. So yeah, Jim kicked me off of Measure Quick real fast the other day. I was like, boo.
Yeah, that's funny because someone else was
Kicking
talking about it. It might have
school.
been Courtland that was actually talking about that. You can't do screenshots.
Yeah.
Oh.
It lets you get away with one like oopsie, maybe you fumbled it, but the second time it doesn't like it.
What does it do?
It just boots you off the app and says, hey, you got to pay. You need more qubits. And I was like, no.
I don't know if that's a Bitcoin or
No,
what. I don't know.
Dude, they have their own like in-game currency.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Microtransactions. Yeah.
I like Measure Quick. I'm not.
I like it. It's
I'll
great
stick with
software,
free.
but it's like it's just so cram-packed with unnecessary nonsense. Just give me the classic Measure Quick. Let me take screenshots. I'm not, using them for anything except me because I have a poor memory. So leave me alone.
If it asks for your rectal temperature, I draw a line somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I just use JobLink for that.
Hey, do you like Knipex?
Yeah, you mean Nipex? No, I'm just kidding. Say it however you want.
Do you like Knipex?
Yes. Oh God.
Well, guess what? These are Icon. They're very similar, actually.
Oh my God, those look spot on.
They are. I think they're actually going to be really good tools, and I hope you do win these. Because I'm assuming you're trading up. I already traded you up anyway. Yeah. I assumed you were. So, you know what? You might keep those at the end of this. I don't know.
All right.
Let's see. You got both your lifelines. Let's get the easy medium question. Here we go. The acronym MCA on a unit data plate refers to maximum circuit amps, minimum circuit amps.
Minimum circuit amps. Sorry.
Are you positive?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh, is it gonna keep playing? Oh yeah, loops. That's like shut
Sick.
up, man. Yeah, it does that on its own. Thanks a lot.
I almost fat faced and said maximum. Fat mouth.
That would have
Yeah,
been
almost
that'd been
blurted
one of
it
the
out.
moments. No.
Yeah.
I lost my icon pliers. Okay. Hey, but what about this sweet AWP high vis
Ooh.
work backpack, which is actually really nice. I know it's
Heck
AWP.
yeah.
It's nice.
I don't even have a backpack for anything anymore. It gets super heavy, so I got rid of it.
You didn't give Vito a couple $100?
No, a buddy of mine got out of the trade though and sold me his old Vito backpack and a set of he had some dadgummit, the field piece digital manifold for $80. So
Oh,
that was
S-Man.
cool until I left the S-Mans at a job and I went the next morning, like it was on a roof or something, and they were gone, just vanished.
Oh no.
But I still had the backpack and then I sold it because by the time I loaded it down, I mean the thing's like 80 pounds. And you can't fit up a ladder like in commercial with the cage around it, you just don't fit.
Oh, that's you know what? That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
end
sent
up
him my
like,
email. I said, hey, we need a slimline little backpack.
yeah, they're like, we can't do that. Sorry.
Yeah.
We got to charge 3 bills for this, so that ain't happening. Well, do you want to trade up?
Yeah,
you
man.
got your well, all right.
Let's do it. We're good. You need a winner, and we'll go all the way.
All right.
Try it till I die.
Yep. One loop and we're done. Okay.
There we go. Get him out of the shop.
Are you trying to move it
I
so
don't
that
want to get
you can
banned
Google
on
on the other
TikTok
screen?
or whatever.
All right, so here we go. Here is your level 3 out of 5 question. So this will put you over halfway there.
Whee.
All right, Bimco. Here we go. Level 3. Which of the following refrigerants is single component?
Oh hell!
Not a blend. R410A. R32.
32, I think.
Is that your final answer?
I mean, yeah, I don't really know. 502, I know is refrigeration stuff, but I'm not familiar with it. So we'll go 32. That's an old one.
And I'm assuming that's your final answer.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah! Yes.
Yeah, you're right, man. You got yourself a nice bag, bro. Sweet bag, but this is funny because you've already won like the same thing from a different brand from me. How would you like to trade up to a tubing bender?
Oh yeah. Which brand? Oh,
it's Doyle. It's a Harbor Freight brand, but it's like exactly the same.
Doyle rules. All right. Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, we're gonna trade up so you can have. You don't even have those, right? Didn't you give them to a guy?
No, I've still got them. The CPS, the Black Max.
Oh, nice. All right then. We're gonna keep on trucking up here. And prize number 4. Prize number 4. I will say, you guys that are I know guys are waiting. He's gotten far enough where we're not going to do anybody else tonight. I don't want to disappoint
sorry,
anybody. Well, I mean, it's a good thing, but
That's
I'm
my
just saying,
bad.
because I got to go to bed soon. It's I'm sorry too. Here we go. Level 4. This is because of Bimco. Then that's easier to do.
Yeah.
Level 4. This is gonna be a tough one. Okay.
Okay.
This is really tough.
All right. I'm shooting from the hip, boss. Let's do it.
Here we go. You have all your lifelines, though. Did you forget about those?
Yes.
Okay. You have them all. A Faraday cage primarily amplifies capacitor ratings, blocks electromagnetic fields, causes irregular AC wave patterns, greatly reduces thermal resistance. A Faraday cage primarily does what?
So I know you can like put those around you. It's what the high wire guys do on high voltage, so they don't get killed.
Why do they do that? What would they be doing that for?
It just makes an easier path for the electricity to just go around the ground and not through their bodies.
What are you thinking there? Do you want to use a lifeline, or do you know?
I'm just trying to see which one makes sense because I know what it does, but as far as putting it in big word form, let's 50-50 it. Why not? Use a lifeline.
All right, here you go. Your 50-50 is it's either amplifies capacitor ratings or blocks electromagnetic fields.
Electromagnetic fields. Let's do that one. Blocks
it's not like the
EMF.
first one's stupid, is it? But the first one's stupid, isn't it?
It's odd.
I'm just kidding. That's your final answer. You've already kind of indicated that. Here you go. Absolutely. It blocks electromagnetic fields. Whee! That's what you put around yourself so the government can't listen to you. You live inside of a Faraday cage.
Yeah.
Well, that was good. You got yourself a sweet bender.
Yes.
But
hear that, apprentice? You probably got a bender.
is your apprentice there?
He's watching. not in person.
Wow, he's at your house?
I told him to try and get on here, but he said he was doing so with his family. God.
And I just want to say this, Bob, you were right. And I saw that you were right. I just want you to know that. And would you like to trade up?
Yes.
For a combustion analyzer? You said yes before I started talking.
Yeah, give me that.
Oh, so you're excited about this one?
Yeah,
you're not just
man,
doing it for the heck of it. All right.
Well, we've got a few sites with some pretty hefty boilers, and I'd love to
Pressure's
be able
on
to
now.
do that. Yeah.
Now it means something. Okay.
Oh man.
Trading up for the final question. Okay, this combustion analyzer can be yours, but this is going to be a difficult one. You've seen these questions before. They often suck for the receiver. For me, it's a sadistic kind of fun.
Chat, when I ask for help, just tell me which one of y'all actually Googled the answer.
yeah, that's funny. Yeah, chat people don't do that. I mean,
Google verified.
Why do you say that out loud, man? That's like the chat guys are like, I want him to win this thing. I don't like Zach's attitude. Here you go. All right, I'm gonna put some power in your hands here. Do you want me to ask you a question about air conditioning history?
No.
About brands or about refrigerant?
Oh God. Well, you know, the history one probably be the easiest to look up and get right. So, no, I don't know, man. Dealer's choice, dude.
All right, I'm gonna give you history because you mentioned history, and not that I want people looking it up. I'm just giving it to you. Here we go.
Sure.
Final question. You have, you don't have lifeline left. You got to choose one.
Yeah.
So you don't have anything left.
All I have. Oh, you get two, but you can only use one. Bruh, you did not. All right.
Was I not clear?
No, I didn't. I missed that.
Okay.
Part. It's all good.
I'll let you have it. Okay.
Oh, you'll allow it?
I will allow it because if it wasn't clear, I'm very
this
affable.
life-saving tool here.
Here you go. Without further ado, the first president to enjoy AC in the White House was Truman, Roosevelt, Hoover, or Wilson.
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
Chat.
I'll open up the chat.
Oh,
open up to the cheaters.
I want to say Truman, but I really don't know.
Do you know what years these guys were president?
No. Dude, I'm 35. No.
Oh, come on. 35-year-olds can be president. All right, so the chat... yeah. No, they haven't. But they can. All right, so the chat should be open. Let me see if I can't open it up here and help you out. The last chat is I love NorCal Dave, so that was before I turned it off.
I can see that on the other screen.
All right, so we have the first president to enjoy AC in the White House. RJ Parker says Truman. Let's see, anyone else? Anyone else want to help him out? I'm just going to read them out to you. I can put a poll up, but it takes too long. Just say what you want. Truman again.
Yeah, let's just go Truman, final answer. And I have to apologize to my apprentice. He's actually a Tech 1 now. He's been bumped up because he's a fast learner and hard worker.
Is that a different way to say it?
Good job, West. Yeah, he's still under me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so he's better than you. Okay.
Yeah, he's better than I was.
Well, you said Truman because these fine people said Truman.
Oh, there's some Wilsons in there.
The first person to enjoy AC in the White House. This person actually had it installed in the Oval Office where he would have enjoyed it. And
I mean, I've already committed, I guess, so.
Yeah, you committed. The answer is Hoover. Hoover had it installed for $30,000.
Yes, let's go.
Bet it was a hell of an install too. Bet that thing leaked in a week.
It was Goodman, so yes. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It wasn't Goodman. Yeah.
Poor Goodman.
Goodman's never leak. What am I talking about? Yeah. So thank you for the internet for giving me that tidbit right there. Of course, Frylock. I'm so glad you played, man. I'd be happy to send you something. You have the same address. I'm gonna send you something anyway.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
All right, you'll take it.
I appreciate you, Doug.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, right back at you, dude. I really do. So
until next time.
All right, man. You stay cool out there, and I'll see you on the next one.
Later.
Later, man. Bye. All right. Oh, surprise, man. You're back on the show. Did I surprise you? Oh man, all your stuff's off. I can't hear you, man. I don't know what happened. I should have left you off the air. You were over there reading a book or something. There you go. There you go.
Sorry, I had to engage that phantom power. All right, let's do it. I was back live.
Oh, it's back live. Yeah. We're gonna wrap the show up here. I'm waiting for
Sweet.
you're gonna give us some words of wisdom here to close us out. Anything that you have available at your disposal.
Yeah, man. Best words of wisdom I could say for newer techs. Just leave your pride at the door, the egos, all that stuff. Get rid of it because it's only gonna do damage. It's only gonna stunt your growth. At the end of the day. So, I try to everything from simple things like taking a picture before you touch anything, so that way you have a reference. How to put it back together. I still do that to this day, even though I know how to read the schematics and even though I know how to put it back together. It's just because why not, right? See, but if you're being prideful, you might want to just say, oh, you know what, I'll get it. I'll figure it out. Things like that, or just worrying about what other people are doing. Don't worry too much about anybody else's path or career position. Just focus, keep your head down, focus on where you're going, and just, leave the ego out of it and think everything will be good to go.
That was really nice.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I can't improve on that. So we're going to close out here. Thank you for being
Sweet.
on the show, Courtland. I had a pleasure, man.
Yeah,
It was a lot
man.
of fun talking to you.
Absolutely. Likewise. I had a blast. Appreciate the invite, man.
Would you like to come back again?
Heck yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely, man.
I get a lot of yes because I'm doing it on the air. I ask people on the air where they can't say no. It's like when you ask a woman to marry you at a ball game and you're on the camera, and she says yes, but then when you leave, she goes, it's not happening, though, right?
No, man, I had a great time, man.
So I appreciate it, man. I'm going to let you go, and
Sweet.
I will talk to you soon about coming back on the show, okay?
Yes, sir, man. Be in touch, man. We'll see you around. Thanks again.
Thank you, Courtland. I appreciate
Have
it.
a good night. All right,
Take
man.
care. Oh, wait,
Yes,
hold
sir.
on, Courtland. Hold on one
Yo.
second. They're asking what microphone you have because it sounds good.
Nice.
mind.
Appreciate it. That's going to be the U87, U87i, I believe it is. That's a Neumann, German.
You're using a U87 microphone? Well, you know what?
I told you
HVAC definitely makes enough money. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now.
I bought this probably over a decade ago. No, I got this before. I told you I was in audio. Yeah, I got this before HVAC, but yeah, it's that's what I dusted it off, man, today for you. So
Let me ask you something, because I know how much a U87 is worth. Like the standard U87. Now, is the I like
that's the newer one. That's not. Yeah, mine isn't the vintage. The straight U87. It's just. It's definitely not a cheap mic, but
oh man, if it costs 1/3, it's expensive. Yeah. Frylock knows. He knows how much it costs. That's pretty good. All right. Well, I appreciate it. I didn't mean to catch you right there on the
no,
exit
yeah,
button.
appreciate you asking. We'll get it.
That was Frylock. He was the guy just on the air. He liked how you sounded, and you sound really good. So
thanks for the feedback.
You guys save up and get one.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're good.
Or you get that Mayano one that's on Amazon for $30. It's not as good though.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on the show. I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate it.
All right, cool, man.
Take
You have
care.
a good night. Yes,
You
sir.
too. Bye.
All right, bye now.
Guys, that was Cortland Butler, HVAC Technology. You can find him on YouTube. And guys, great channel, great guy. Like his mindset, how he does his job, how he does his channel, really, really admirable. And of course, a pleasure to talk to him. You can see we had a good time talking. I feel very lucky that the interviews that I've done here lately have gone, at least on my end, I've really enjoyed them. And not to say that I don't enjoy any interviews, but there's just some that the guys really click. And a lot of these guys are techs. And I hope the string continues. I'm going to talk to HVAC guy about coming on here. You guys had requested that. We'll see if he's available. We have Jessica's going to come back. I always like talking to Jessica. It's hard to find a girl in the trade, so you gotta bring her on the air and not ask her questions about being a girl in the trade because it's just insulting. And I know there was somebody else, Advanced Refrigeration. I just call him Advanced Refrigeration, Brett. I think it's Brett, and I'm sorry if it's not Brett, and I apologize, but I think he'll be coming on the air as well. And if you ever have guys you want on the air, just send me an email. I know I've asked before. Some of the guys that you guys asked for are just not available. They don't want to do it, that sort of thing. And it's fine. But just keep sending me anybody that you want me to talk to, because that's what it's about. You guys have to enjoy it, right? That's what the show's about. So make sure you do that. Hey, my HVAC Life, I saw you up there, you controversial guy. They asked for you too. So if you want to do it, you can email me. You know what the email is. Email me, and we'll bring you on here too. We'll get down to your controversial soul. We'll see what it's all about. I think it'll be fun. But as for me, I'm out of here for tonight, guys. I really appreciate you listening, watching the show, and being here the whole time. Had a great time. If you enjoyed it, make sure you put a like on the stream. I forget to ask when the show's actually in its prime in the middle. But like on the stream if you want to support the channel, become a member. I really appreciate Clint. Thank you for giving us a new member tonight. Hopefully he sees the value in it and he continues the process next month. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you on the next one.